Hey everybody, it's Rebecca Johnson of the Duck Milk Pride YouTube channel. I did a reaction to the trailer that came out on 2/14 of Zack Snyder's Justice League, but I'm gonna actually in this video go through it and sort of slow down my viewing process to see what I missed during the reaction and see if there's anything to talk about. I wanted to do a separate video because the last time I did one of these, it went for a very long time because I tend to be a little long-winded. So I'm gonna try to see if I can contain myself a little bit. So I'm gonna pull this up here, and I'm gonna go through the trailer. It's the official trailer, is what it's called. I think there's a focus on his scream. There looks like there's around his face. It looks like there's more of an effect. Let me see if I go back to that. Yeah, right there. That's really interesting. I've heard bits about how his scream is what maybe alerts the apocalyptans of the fact that the Kryptonian is dead. Um, so that seems to be a really important moment there where he screams out because his and I like that as a Kryptonian fan. I have a podcast called Supergirl Radio, so we talk about Kryptonians all the time, and so I think that's really cool to see his Superman's scream be so powerful because it really it would. I mean, that would be able to be heard from many miles or light years. I don't know what space space terminology you would use there, but it would be something that would be very powerful. His scream. So I think that's really cool to sort of slow that down. And yeah, right there, there's another one. So you get to see how important that is. And there's also a really good close up of the S shield and how torn up it is. And I'm going to turn my captioning on just so I make sure I get the dialogue right here. I like the use of Lex Luthor here. The bell's been rung. The Superman scream is the bell. And I don't know where this is. Maybe it's Gotham. It sort of maybe looks like what Gotham might look like. I don't know. Um, so I have no idea where this is. But it's pretty torn up. I don't know if that's the aftermath of what happened in Metropolis with Doomsday. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Is that is that still part of his scream? Maybe? Is that Superman's scream? It might be. I hear the scream playing out, and it looks like maybe that fog is part of his scream that's carrying out over the stars. That's so cool. I mean, I have to just stop and say thank you to Zack Snyder for really showing how powerful Superman is. If that's what he's doing there, that's really cool. This is a really nice shot. I'm assuming this is Hippolyta. That's a really nice shot of I don't know if it's a crane coming up behind her, but that's a really pretty shot. And I wonder what she's looking at. I wonder if that's after everything has fallen in. I don't know. Uh but she looks pretty alone, which is kind of a sad sight. Uh because the mascara is filled with Amazons and it looks like there's some Amazons here, but she's all by herself in that shot. Boy, Steppenwolf. I assume that there's still the same beat of Steppenwolf trying to get the mother boxes from the Amazons, but boy, he really wrecks this up. You get to see a little bit of that fight in the theatrical cut, but this is much more impactful to show that he really wrecked that place. Gosh. Ugh, this Nightmare Batman. Oh, I'm so excited to see more about the nightmare sequence. That was one of my favorite things from BVS. Yeah, this is cool. We saw this in one of the teasers that came out. Uh, I'm not scrolling correctly. Oh, he had a dream, almost like a premonition. We've heard that I had a dream line before in one of the final trailers for Justice League in 2017. Uh, that was never actually in the in the theatrical version. Um, but this is interesting. We get a little bit more of that line now where he says almost like a premonition. This is cool. I like these Diana shots. Let's see, let me back up. Like, that's really cool. I don't know if this is before or after she goes in there, but it's obviously a place that's closed off that not everybody in I guess, the public could get into, but Diana's able to get in here. Oh, this is after I guess she finds the arrow that Hippolyta sends. I'm assuming it's the same beat. Oh, that's so cool. I mean, I don't know how many people might say this, but it's very Indiana Jones with the torch and everything. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, and that was one of the first things we saw of the Snyder cut, was the, well, after I think it was announced was this, shot of Darkseid on the wall, but we had seen that because Zack Snyder had sort of teased this piece of art. Wow. This is so cool to see this. I mean, we had seen a little bit in the teasers, that had come out before this trailer. We had seen the full shot of Darkseid and Decide and Granny Goodness. But wow, the design here is really cool. This long platform, and I guess these are all parademons. They're in his army, and just to see the flags and everything, it looks very royal. It looks, fitting for, I guess, the new gods. Wow, that's so cool. The scope of this version of Justice League feels so much bigger because in the theatrical cut it was made very small. Like there was this big worldwide threat, but we only saw it affecting this one family, this one Russian family. And I understand the choice of like making some people that you have to save, like creating characters that the heroes have to save. I get that, but what they ended up doing was making that story feel so small when it really shouldn't have. It should have impacted the entire world. But bringing this, I mean, I'm assuming this is either Apocalypse or it's part of the Nightmare sequence because it does have that orange and yellow coloring of the Nightmare. So it could be part of the Nightmare sequence itself. Yeah, we saw this shot during one of the teasers, that shot of the three of them. So what is happening here? So I know this is Steppenwolf, and there's some parademons over here. Is this Darkseid? I don't know. It's hard to tell. He is very tall. So I don't know exactly what is happening there. Oh, and it looks like did his armor come off his shoulder, or you get to see a little bit of his skin. Oh, so that's interesting. So maybe his spiky things, I know they move a little bit. So I guess they move up, and it looks like the top of his horns are bare too. So I guess the scales or whatever just kind of move around his skin. That's really interesting. So I guess this is just armor on top of his skin that just kind of goes wherever he needs protection. That's really interesting. Yeah, it moves a little bit in that shot too on his shoulder. I think you can see it. Let's see. Back that up. Yeah, it kind of moves down. Oh, that's really interesting. It's a cool design choice. So I think these are the Amazons back on the mascara parademons. We have seen that shot before. I mean, Steppenwolf is pretty vicious this time around, which is very threatening. Some of this Atlantis stuff looks a little new. Um, like this shot with Aquaman, I don't think we saw that in the theatrical cut. That looks new to me. This is new. Holy crap! I missed this during my little reaction video. That I did not see. This is part of the nightmare sequence, I think. Wow! Wow! This was not in the theatrical version at all. Um, it's got that orange and yellow coloring of the nightmare. Wow, that's pretty cool. So we're gonna get to see. Oh, I wonder if we're gonna get to see all of the Justice League in the nightmare, because I knew we would probably get to see, obviously, Nightmare Batman, love of my life. And I assumed we would probably see Flash if we get to see the other side of that scene of him coming into the Batcave from Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. I hope we get to see like what happens up until that point, because that would be a really cool way to connect those two films. But I did not anticipate getting to see Cyborg. That could be potentially interesting if that's what that is. It's really cool to see his canon here. Oh wow, that's really cool. And we'd seen this before. It's interesting. It looks like it has that same daytime feel uh, from the theatrical version. This is more Alfred with the, I mean, yeah, Alfred, Bruce, Batman with the parademons. We've seen that in the theatrical cut of Steppenwolf going over Wonder Woman here, but this is the new design or the original design uh, inserted into that shot. If you can't bring down the charging bull, which is, I guess, Steppenwolf is the charging bull, then don't wave the red cape at it. Oh, that's good dialogue. Oh, the charging bull and the red cape. Oh man, Cristeria is what I'm talking about. Man, that is good because in bullfighting they use a red cape to fight the bulls. So that is really really interesting. There's a little bit more of Lois here, not too much different than what we've seen before with her. I guess turning around and seeing Superman resurrected. Oh man, we get to see more apocalyptic ships. There's a little bit different shot of Darkseid. And this shot with Jonathan's picture in the water, I always thought that was Zack Snyder. Like when you watch the theatrical cut, you wonder what's Zack Snyder, what's Joss Whedon. And I always thought that that was a Zack Snyder thing because it has so much meaning in it, and it looks good. So that to me was a kind of a dead giveaway. But I never had confirmation. But I like that so much, so much. And it's right there in the composition where he's going into the water while that's being seen. It's a little bit more of that. We got to see more of the Iris West stuff here. So that's cool. It's a little bit more extended here. A little more Batman fighting Steppenwolf and parademons. It's interesting that they're using the Jonathan Kent dialogue here. There's rumors that Jonathan Kent might show up in Zack Snyder's Justice League. I don't know. But yeah, here's the Superman in the black suit. Oh, that's really cool to see right here where the rocks and the dirt are kind of floating up. It's reminiscent of the casket at the end of Batman v Superman, where it's in the ground, but you see the dirt floating up. That's a nice callback to that. Oh man, that cape action where it's kind of floating in the wind behind him. Oh, that's a good shot. Oh, that's gonna be cool, and it's paired with, Cyborg flying, that's nice. Oh, man, was Steppenwolf on the I don't know if that was the Nightcrawler maybe in the tunnel sequence? Wow. I don't think that was in the theatrical cut. I'd have to go back don't make me go back and rewatch that, but I don't remember Steppenwolf attacking the vehicle in the tunnel sequence, but it looks like he's trying to get in. I mean, this is obviously very Dark Knight Returns, very cool. This was something the tank, the War Machine, nobody knew about until yesterday. So that was a big surprise, and Batman looks just so majestic on top of it. It's such a good shot. And this meaningful scene between Barry and his father, we saw that in the theatrical cut, and it always seemed like a really good scene. It always to me it seemed like it was Chris Terrio dialogue because of the way they played on the wording with the Flash about I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's like creating your own future and things like that. So that always seemed very pointed in terms of Flashpoint and what Flash's capabilities are in time travel. Oh, Cyborg with the, mother box. Oh, I wish I could Oh! This is Flash behind Cyborg right here. I guess maybe this is when they're trying to resurrect Superman. I don't know because this looks like the Flash in the theatrical cut when he's running to sort of supercharge the mother box. Oh, and it goes into Cyborg's eye. I've heard that maybe Cyborg sees the nightmare during some of that, so maybe that's where that comes in. So Spiky Steppenwolf in Atlantis looks like he's about to get the mother box. We've seen a little bit about that Smallville stuff with Martha and Lois and Clark. I love these shots of the Flash um, with the blue coloring here. That looks really, really good. And I have no idea what this is. No idea. I'm completely clueless. It seems like he's either running with the Speed Force or running into the Speed Force. I don't know, but this is really, I mean, end of the world type stuff. I don't know if this is him trying to get into the Batcave or maybe this is him trying to fix time. I don't know, but I'm excited to find out because what the heck is that? We knew about that line about the Age of Heroes coming again. It's a great line. This is awesome. This must be during the history lesson with the Amazons. This looks very history lesson, but man, that Amazon right there, I don't know what her name is, but she is awesome. She is fighting a good fight. There's I get this is probably more history lesson with the Atlantean King. There's some things that we've seen in the theatrical cut, or at least very similar. This is a cool shot of Wonder Woman on top of Steppenwolf here. It does look like maybe they connect with the sword and the axe. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. I'm assuming this is part of when Flash maybe slows down to get Diana the sword. I like that shot of the barrel roll from Cyborg. Really good stuff. And of course, black suit Superman using his heat vision. Love it. So it didn't. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh, that's interesting. So this is really interesting to me that Joker in the nightmare sequence. I assume that's where he appears is in the nightmare sequence. So for him to talk about honor is very interesting to me because you wouldn't think that the Joker would care about those kinds of things. Uh, and he's also wearing a SWAT vest here. Looks like he's got a gun. Oh, and that looks like Cyborg there. So maybe Cyborg and Nightmare Batman are meeting with the Joker. I think Jared Leto's probably having a lot of fun with this. He's going to be fun to watch. So the thing I think is good about this trailer, I was kind of wanting more like jaw dropping, like crazy moments. But I think what's smart is that they haven't given everything away. You don't want to give everything away in a trailer a month before it's released. You don't want to give too much. But I think this is enough. Even though we don't get to see a lot of like the team fighting together, which is what I'm very excited about because a lot of that got changed in the theatrical version is you don't get to see the Justice League fighting together as intended because I think there was more there, especially in like their infight with Steppenwolf and things like that. So I was kind of hoping to see more team stuff, but the nightmare sequence has gotten way more exciting for me. That I'm really, really excited about because that seems very pivotal. And it's been pivotal since Batman v Superman. What causes that to possibly happen? Is it going to become a reality? Are they going to be in it and then have to change things? So I am very excited to see more of that. And I'm glad that it seems like it's going to be more than what we got in Batman v Superman. So that's very exciting. So wow, I'm gonna be watching that a lot. Because there were definitely, and I knew there would be things that I missed while I watched it for the first time. So some of that dialogue is really good, and some of those shots are really good, and I'm much more intrigued because I think there's a lot more. It's not the uh, same movie that we saw in 2017. This is vastly different, story wise, character wise, everything, visually, everything, writing, everything. So different. So I'm very excited. This is leaving me on a very excited note. So I hope that the next month hurries up. Let's go. It's time to get to March 18th. Anyway, I just wanted to share my thoughts on kind of breaking down the trailer and seeing what was there, seeing what I missed. So I hope everybody enjoyed it. I hope everybody is excited about Zack Snyder's Justice League, and that you support it, and make sure to tweet hashtag the Snyder Cut and hashtag release the Snyder Cut, hashtag united, all the hashtags. Use them, tweet about it, post on Facebook, everywhere your social media that you have, Instagram stories, just be talking about it, because that's how other people are going to find out about it. And it's also how people at HBO Max are going to know that there's interest in it. So definitely be spreading it around and get people excited about it. And I will do the same. All right. Well, I hope everybody has a happy Valentine's Day and a happy 2/14, and that you will be excited for Zack Snyder's Justice League.